Yeah, I guess they're all just storing. I don't get, why are they called Steve doors? I need to find a Steve door that'll talk to me like a person so I can find out why they're called that. Because the other name made no sense to me too, but eventually I'm like, oh, it's a... Okay, gotcha. So I need to find out why Steve door... Oh, God, he's wearing it. Martin Callahan. This... Nope, not a stealable poster. Good luck getting it.
I'm just in port long enough to get another haul contract.
You do that.
Sorry about the heat. Chief Dennison will get the radiators fixed soon. Of course, this heat sure makes a zero-G brew extra refreshing. It's an ale that's good for what ails you. Oh, and it's not the best choice. It's Spacer's choice. Taste the freedom. A lot of slogans to keep track of. And sometimes I forget.
You poor, exhausted sounding man. You work for Spacer's Choice. Ever been to Edgewater?
Heard of it. My orientation aetherwave showed that famous Saltuna cannery, which I'm sure smells as good as it looks.
You aren't missing much. Just dump.
Not the word I'd use. I think of it more like a... No, I take it back. Dump sums it up nicely.
Well, I liked it fine enough.
I'm sure they're doing their best. That's the Spacer's Choice spirit. So, what can I get you? Some soap? Everyone loves soap. Everyone will love you for using it, too.
Everyone will love you for using soap. What a line. Also, hello, fellow humans. Do you like soap? I hear humans love soap. I've got to ask you about the hat.
I'm bound to satisfy headgear-related inquiries. Please send any complaints to our Consumer Care Headwear Division.
You doing all right in there?
Oh, I'm having a stellar day. Not just because I'm legally obligated to say so. Almost as stellar as Spacer's Choice is affordable.
Can you see in there?
I can see all of the top quality merchandise in the Spacer's Choice catalog, which is available here at a reasonable price.
How do you brush your teeth?
Spacer's Choice regrets that we don't sell toothpaste at this time, but we're always working on delivering exciting new products to our customers. Spratwash, mouthwash, and Mantafloss are among the exciting line of dental goods currently in development.
Mouth swash. Also, they make floss out of the mantis thing. Why? Do you miss eating solid food?
Don't miss out on these deals. You'll find none like them on all of Groundbreaker, or anywhere in the Halcyon colony.
Do you have to sleep with that on?
Trouble sleeping? Try our Lunar Eclipse mix. That's 2 handfuls of pep pills washed down with a hearty swig of 2-hour energy brew. The blast will send you through the stratosphere, and the crash will knock you out cold, guaranteed.
Those both sound bad. Does Spacer's Choice make you wear that?
Add an additional 10% to your purchase today, and the proceeds will be donated to Spacer Cares, our premier corporate welfare program. At Spacer's Choice, we care about your health and emotional well-being. That's why we put Martin through 6 years of vendor school, only to make him wear this hat.
Oh, is somebody salty? So Spacer's Choice. Is there corporate welfare program? I'm almost wondering, like, what if like retirement or something like that is based around voluntary donations? Do you need me to help you get out of there?
Even if my contract didn't forbid it, I think I think it's part of me now. Now, are you ready to make Spacer's Choice Lunar Green Moonmouth lozenges a part of you? Lunar Green, the future is spearmint.
This is terrifying. I'm addressing the man beneath the mask. Are you okay?
Damn it. No slogan for that one. Look, this hat, my job. It may not seem like much to a brave space captain, but they're all that I have. If there are self-made purgatories, then we all have to live in them. Mine can be no worse than someone else's. Now, if we're done with the chit-chat, I hope you don't mind if I make the most of this short life and try to be the best moon person I can be.
What a fucking champ, but also I'm so sad about him. Sorry if I pushed you too hard, Martin.
It's fine. I should be stronger than this. Thanks for taking an interest. Speaking of interest, can I interest you in some quality budget goods? At Spacer's Choice, we cut corners so you don't have to.
This poor man is my favorite character in this game. What do you sell here?
Anything and everything. Whatever you want, we got it. And when you need a replacement, we got that too.
Which you will need, because all of our products are garbage. Must be shoddy quality if it needs replacing.
Just the opposite. Spacer's Choice items are always new, hot off the shelves, because customers just can't stop buying new stuff. Oh, sorry. Got the line wrong. You want me to do it again?
No, don't bother.
Okay, customer's always right. Thanks. Moving on. You could go broke buying overpriced Aramid gear, or you could buy from us at a much more reasonable rate.
But it sounds like Aramid gear won't break the first time you use it.
That's why you should get a backup or 3. Become a frequent buyer. Join our Friendship Rewards program. Program currently unapproved in Alpha, rewards and friendship pending.
Let's see what you got for sale.
Have a look.
This poor, poor sad man. Oh, it reminds me of working at Best Buy, and it's like... I hated how they wanted you to push warranties so hard as a floor salesman that, like, you spend this time trying to talk customers into wanting things, but then the moment you think you sold them on the item, you immediately start unselling them on the item, because you're immediately like, now I gotta sell you on all the ways that this product could be taken from you. I've got to add all this anxiety to your life and also actively sabotage your confidence in the item that you're buying. So like, you're just making them actively think that the product might break at any time now, so they better get the warranty so that they can like get a replacement for when this one breaks. And it's like, motherfucker, they haven't even bought the item yet and you're already trying to tell them about how it's gonna break. Like, that's just how you get them to not buy the item, which I saw myself and many other people fall into the trap of like just talking them out of buying the thing, which I guess is a public service, because frankly, if they were talked out of it that easily, then they probably didn't ever need to get it in the first place. So it's like, good. That's I hated that place so much. What a mess. It's much cleaner when you're like buying something on Amazon or some other service and you just like, all you do is buy the item or whatever, and then during checkout it just has a little like window of like, would you like to add a warranty to this? Because like warranties being a feature for those that want them, apparently you're like, okay, this is inoffensive. But if somebody tries to sell you on a warranty, they pretty much have to actively talk down the product. And yeah, it's not great. Because the only two ways to sell a warranty are A, to degrade the confidence in the product itself. Like, man, like as if they just break all the time or some shit. Or to be like create a bunch of anxieties, like how their kids are going to smash all their stuff or something like that if they have kids or whatever. Like, you're supposed to like zero in on things about their life that are like elements that would cause that, and now you're just like creating anxieties in these people's lives for the sake of making money, except you're not doing it to make money because you don't even fucking get paid commission and you don't have any stake in the company, so why are you even bothering? Fuck off. Like, before long I was like, why try? I was the worst employee because all I wanted to do was just ask people, answer people's questions and help them with anything they needed at the store, while not being particularly interested in doing my job, which was to like actively sell people on things, because I always felt like a bad person whenever I was doing that, and so I just didn't want to do that anymore. Yeah, it's just shitty behavior. Like, it's the kind of shitty behavior that capitalism encourages you to do in order to make a living, except it doesn't affect your living because you're not paid commission and your pay isn't determined by how well you do at your job. So all you're doing is making like the mega corporation more money, and fuck them, because they're always in a weird panic anyway. I had the experience of working at Best Buy while Circuit City was closing, and yeah, they were panicking because Circuit City was closing, so they were like, oh god, we gotta retrain our entire workforce every couple months with an entirely new sales strategy over and over again, because we're so terrified that like we're all gonna go under. So they kept flailing and flailing to try to figure out how to make more money. And a lot of that stress was just directly dumped on the employees, as if we had basically any control over like how much advertising Best Buy is doing or whatever the fuck that causes people to walk in every day. Like, we had very little impact on their sales numbers if people just weren't walking in. The most fucking insidious, awful thing that I just refused to do after training was the 180 pass by, where you're supposed to walk by a customer in the aisle and you're supposed to make observations about them as you're walking up to them, about like, I don't know, like the sports jersey they're wearing or the shoes or whatever the fuck. And so you walk up to them and you say hi or whatever, you just greet them, then you walk past them, and then you're supposed to stop like after you've passed them, which is kind of what's called the 180 pass by, because now you're in their personal bubble. Because if you just walk at them in a straight line, you're like, oh, it's like aggressive or whatever. So you're supposed to walk past them, but then stop while you're still within like their bubble range. And then you're supposed to like comment on that thing you observed about them and like butter them up with like human interaction and conversation. You're supposed to like generate small talk from scratch based on their physical appearance alone, basically, because you don't know who the fuck they are. And then you're supposed to segue that into sales. And then when you segue that into sales, you're trying to get them to buy whatever thing is in that department and so on. And then the moment that they are interested in buying it, you're then supposed to upsell them on the warranty, so they pay extra, which involves actively like denigrating the product to them and so on, like I said before. But then you're supposed to upsell them on a bunch of accessories, because actually Best Buy makes borderline no money on the products because they sell them at cost, more or less, for most products. So you're supposed to upsell them on the warranty, because that's where they make actual profit. And then you're supposed to upsell them on a bunch of accessories, because all of the accessories in a Best Buy are marked up to be like double the price or more of what the Best Buy actually pays for said products, while the cameras or whatever are like at cost, so they don't make any money. So that's a whole thing. Like, fucking HDMI cables are a fucking ripoff. They're like a $2 product that Best Buy would sell for $30. So that was a whole fucking thing. But then they kept adding more. So on top of all these weird behaviors we were supposed to do, we were supposed to upsell them eventually to like a credit card. So you try to get every single employee to sign up for the Best Buy credit card, which I would kind of half-heartedly mention each time and then be grateful when they said no. But the one time somebody did say yes, it was right when we were getting ready to close, and it's like, oh god, we have to go through the process of slowly applying for a credit card on our slow-ass, broken, garbage, bullshit computer right here, right now. And like, So I'm like, okay, cool, great. So I'm trying to sign this guy up for a credit card, and and everything's breaking and not working, and like all of my coworkers are glaring at me because they're cleaning up the store and doing all the stuff you're supposed to do at the end of your shift so that we can close up, and I'm not helping because I'm stuck with this customer because I fucking did the thing I'm supposed to do, and I was stuck with this customer for like 45 minutes trying to get this through this whole application process, only to have them be denied anyway. So it was all for nothing. And I'm like, I regret doing my job so hard right now. But one of the final gasps of garbage I had to deal with was the fucking buyback program for a bunch of the products at Best Buy. They had items where you could buy, like they were like jealous of GameStop because GameStop has like a used market thing where they buy back. You can sell stuff back to GameStop, like games and so on, and they give you like a garbage amount of money back, and then they sell that. They massively upsell that because they sell used games for like 80% of their original price, but they make all the profit because they're used. But they give you like 10% of their cost when they buy it from you, so that's like a huge profit for GameStop. Best Buy wanted in on that, but they were extra greedy and shitty and confusing about it because in order to sell a thing back to Best Buy, it had to be in the buyback program, which means they had to pay more in advance for the right to sell the product back to the store later if they decide to. So it was like a fucking warranty where you had to buy into it in advance, and there was a sliding scale of like, if you sold it back to Best Buy in 6 months or 12 months or 18 months, here's what you'll get back because it keeps diminishing. So it was like there was a fucking chart you had to try to explain to your customer while also trying to get them to understand that yes, you have to pay in advance for the right to be able to sell the product back to the store later, which is how, what the fuck? Like, that's not how selling something that's used is supposed to even work. And like, it's the most confusing system, and I don't know a single person who ever even tried to use the program, but it was just like, whoa, never work retail. Retail's a nightmare. I might have had the worst one though. I don't know. Maybe Staples isn't as bad as Best Buy or some shit, but fucking Best Buy's a nightmare. Never again. So yeah, this guy's my favorite character. Oh god, he sells it. He sells the hat. Oh no. Jesus. In certain games, I could see why it'd be funny to wear this hat, but in this game's context, it's such a horrible company that I don't know why anyone would be like, yay, can't wait, haha. So they sell boring generic guns I've seen before. Yeah, I basically shouldn't be looking at his stuff because it's all garbage, because it's Spacer's Choice. You can stock up on some of these though. That doesn't hurt. Buy? The bypass shunts are even cheaper, actually. Is there only one of each, though? Yes. Really? Wow. Wow. They had, like, nothing to offer. Oh, yeah, I should repair my gun. There you go. Alright, all fixed up. Anyway, this rant brought to you by a year and a half of my life.
I know she's in there, Mfuru.
Mfuru?
You can't keep me out of there.
Please don't make a scene, Dr. Fenhill.
I am not making a scene.
How's this going for you guys, huh?
I'm sorry. Am I causing a scene? See, Mfuru? We could have avoided all this unpleasantness if you just let me talk to Jessie in the first place.
What's this about your friend?
Let me get one thing straight. Jessie and I are not friends. I just owe her, okay? As for the rest, I'm trying to figure that out. All I know is that she's been here too long, and she's apparently not receiving visitors.
Wait, you don't even like her, but you're checking on her?
You say that like it's weird.
It's just very noble of you.
It is most certainly not. And watch where you go saying that, okay? You're gonna give people the wrong idea. I just don't like to leave a debt unpaid, that's all.
Jesse's situation sounds normal to me.
Yeah, if she's in the morgue.
How do you know she's not sick?
Because I'm a doctor. I know what illness looks like. And Jessie was looking as sleek as a sprat in the Tyleritos last time I saw her. And anyway, if someone suddenly comes down with a calamitous disease, it doesn't stay secret for long around here.
Look at that hair and that little... she's got a little ascot on. Or a bandana, I guess. She's got a little shoulder pad. You look like a party member. Maybe I can look in on Jessie.
Be my guest. If you know something I don't about dealing with hospital bureaucracy, I'll be impressed.
And journal and... Yep, companion quest. That was relatively easy to figure out. Yep, you're a companion. Some people just have the fucking look. Yep. That's a character that you don't... Like, this is some rando dude. Look at what he's dressed like. Then look what she's dressed like. I don't even want to put you in armor when I get you. So if I put you in armor, you're gonna look like her, and it's just like, look at my generic armor. Look at this fucking character design. Running around like an Overwatch character over here.
Something I can help you with?
I'd like to see Jessie Doyle.
If only my other patients had so many inquiring after them. I'll tell you what I've told the others. The records say Miss Doyle checked herself in and requested I admit no visitors. The requests of our patients are paramount, so no, you may not see her.
The records say... Have you actually spoken to her yourself?
She's not my patient. I'm certain no one on my staff would falsify patient records, if that's what you're implying.
Can I buy supplies from you? You seem well stocked.
Not without dispensation from Chief Jun Lei, I fear. Supplies are hard to come by out here.
How do you mean?
We don't have the ability to manufacture our own medical supplies here on Groundbreaker. Regrettably, we are dependent on the board for such mundane items as bandages and antibiotics, as well as more critical resources like adequately trained staff. We'd nearly signed a supply agreement with Anti-Cleos, but they demanded we only use their branded drugs, and that's simply not tenable.
See you around.
Take care.
An agreement to only use their drugs. Everything about the system seems like a pain in the ass. Sick bay nurse.
Dr. Dorset's a deft hand with a blade. Hardly leaves a scar.
Alright. I questioned the placement of this tray with the scalpel on it, but okay.
Can't say I've seen you before. I take it you're a freighter captain? If you're here to better yourself, you'll have to wait. We're having a spot of trouble with our delivery service.
Wheeler says your shipment won't be coming in soon.
He must be referring to Irion. I'm sure the fool's gotten himself into another scrape. I'm beginning to wonder if I'm ever gonna get my service mechanicals at this rate.
Who's Irion?
Our delivery man. A brave idiot with a penchant for getting himself delayed. Sometimes by dates, usually by bandits.
What do you need the mechanicals for?
Surgery mostly. Medical personnel are difficult to come by on Groundbreaker.
Why is that?
The board won't let their doctors and nurses station here, and they own all the medical schools. If we can't hire their people, we can't hire anyone. Everyone on staff here on Groundbreaker was trained by me or Idris. We're good, don't get me wrong. But we've only 2 heads between us, and we don't know everything.
What does this mean? Oh. Let's go through the history. Neat. I could try to find him.
I'd be grateful if you'd spare the time. We need his delivery soon as yesterday. Last he told me, he was taking a shortcut by Scylla, an asteroid in the Charybdis cluster. That's where I'd start, were I the adventuring type. You look out, though. The place is probably crawling with outlaws.
So we're seeing more and more about how these systems come into conflict with getting anything approximating good medical care. They've got things that are causing limitations on what drugs are available, Jesus Christ, and limitations on what kind of knowledge is available. These people just simply aren't getting the best they can on both fronts, both the doctors and the medicine. Patient's medical chart. Patient experiences unusual side effects post-hibernation after his last voyage, complains of longer days and increased boredom, as if time itself were slowing down. I've never seen complications this severe in prescribing a high dosage of stims. While I'm optimistic I can address the symptoms, the cause still troubles me. I'm going to try reaching out to conveyor crews and some core docks I know on the Terra 2 for answers. I've learned that interstellar crews call the condition skip flu, and everyone asks if they know someone who knows something who had it. In extreme cases, they say the person's body and mind break down entirely. Bored medics, the few who bother to reply, insist the patient was making it up to shirk their duties. I don't believe my patient is malingering, but how do I prove that when the board won't even review my evidence? Skip flu until the mind and body shut down. That's horrifying, because yeah. Funnily enough, Stephanie and I were just talking about this the other day, that like one of the scariest stories ever written by Junji Ito was the one about the man who every night he goes to sleep, he has a longer and longer dream, and then every single dream is longer than the previous one until he's spending years asleep. But in real life, it's just he wakes up at the normal time like always, and then has a normal length day. But then every night he has like, first it's a day, and then it's a week, and then it's like years and years of sleeping until the point where he's living entire lives in his every night, and then waking up in this impossible panic, and then afraid to go back to sleep because every time he goes back to sleep, it's like he has to live a century in that night and then come back. And to the point where he's losing all connection to what reality is or who he is and what anything means. Don't mind me. I just spontaneously turned into a different person right in front of you as I opened the door. This stealth system makes perfect sense.
To the last ratchet on rotten time, leave me in peace! You hull-headed quacks do know that restful recuperation requires not being disturbed, don't you?
Ellie sent me.
What? Why? Everything's fine. We're all fine here. No need for her to be worrying her pretty little head about me. I'm just terrible, dreadful sick is all. Got a cough that won't quit and sores all over my body. Highly, lethally contagious. But I'll be fine, so long as I'm left alone.
Open the door before I kick it down.
Should've known she'd send a bruiser after me. Damned if I don't rue the day I saved her scrawny little hide. Inadvertently, I befriended a bloodhound in the process. Alright, okay, we can discuss this like the level-headed folk that we are. Seems I've got to do something before Ellie goes jabbering my business to anyone with one ear and an intent to listen.
Hi, would you like to have a chat now? Why are there 3 red arrows on my map right now? Am I under attack? What do those red arrows on my map mean? I'm not sure. Maybe there's just the people who will notice me if I am unstealthy enough.
The truth is, I'm not sick. But if you repeat what I'm about to tell you to anyone, I will deny it with my dying breath. You, ain't with the board, are you? See, I owe them a lot. I might have missed a payment or two, and the other night I swear someone was following me back to my room. So I hold up here to lay low.
This seems like a very temporary solution for what seems to be a permanent problem. What did you do to get into that trouble?
What? No, I didn't do anything. I'm a law-abiding denizen of this ship, I swear.
Yet you think the board is someone follow you around, and now you're hiding out.
Think? No. I recognize a contracted killer when I see one, thank you. In my line of work, that's a skill you develop during week 1, assuming you want to keep breathing. All right, I'll fess this part up too, if it means you'll help me. I'm a thief. I specialize in particularly high-end and historically valuable items. 3 weeks back, I caught rumor that the blood tier diamond, last worn by an heiress on the Lost Hope, had surfaced for the first time in 70 years.
Last worn by an heiress on the Lost Hope. If she's on the Hope, wouldn't the necklace still be on her in the pod? Did they remove it from her pod while she was in cryo? Can you do that? Or did they have to kill her to get it? Or is it a fraud? So you stole it.
If I had, you think I'd be hiding out in the med bay? I was gonna steal it, lined up Udom as my buyer. He paid half up front to finance the operation. Let's just say things went sideways about the time I got my hands on the diamond, and it crumbled to stardust in my palm. Anywho, I barely made it out with my life, and nary a plan to make back Udom's deposit I'd spent.
Ellie asked me to help you, so that's what I plan to do.
Udom Bedford's the board guy on the station. He'd know how I stand with them. If you can square things for me, I'd owe you one even bigger than Ellie owes me.
I'll talk to Udom for you.
Thanks for helping me with the board. You're a real pal. Or I guess I should say, Ellie is one, huh?
There's a few layers of darkness there. First of all, you have the corporate organization leadership is happy to actively engage in theft and criminal activities for its own gain, so they're willing to pay a thief to get something for them. But also that item is supposed to have a legacy in one of the greatest shames of Spacer's Choice, which is, or the board, I mean, which is the abandoning of the Hope, which was their responsibility and they just left them to rot. So that's not great all around. That's just generally a bummer. Oh. I kind of dig this costume, actually. Maybe I'll have to get one, even though, nah, I mean, everything's going to be determined by stats above all else. But this is a good look overall. Alright. We're just past 40 for the most part. I can get almost all the way to the next tier, but only almost. There's leadership. And we passed 40 on my combat. I think I want to just make my... Yeah. Oop. Steal from humans while sneaking. Unlock access to restricted items at vendors. Find more bits in containers. Better sneak attack damage. Reduced awareness of it from enemies. Stuff like that. My hack is way up there. 43 is my adjusted value from a few different things. Oh well. Whoa. I hit the point where I can directly add to Persuade on its own. So once you pass 50, you have to add them to stats individually instead of as a group. Go figure. That's how they're going to slow me down. I'll cap out at 50 and then I'll have to add to stats individually instead of collectively. But they also said that only up to like 50 or something counts as the stats. So I think the stat of how that thing works only works until you hit level 50. And then it stops getting stronger. But when you hit level 60 and 80 and 100, you unlock whatever the quirk is. So you still get additional feats, but you don't get more stat points, I think is what they basically said.
Any word on Jesse?
Remind me, what happened between you two?
Let's just say she did me a favor and now I owe her. So, did you find her, or what?
She's in debt to the board and thinks someone's after her. I'll handle it.
Good luck. The board's got an office on the promenade just before engineering. You can't miss it.
Yeah, those are the two people I need to meet up with. Engineering and the board. And now I'm ready to get onto the second floor, if you want to call these floors. There's Halcyon. So that's gotta be, yeah, that's the board. Oh yeah, here's where things get interesting.
CNP Borsted Baked Beans. When you need to eat and run, Borsted Baked Beans is the only one.
Borsted Baked Beans. Yep, 3 doors to go. So we have engineering, we have the board, and we have sublight. Probably the 3 most interesting spots now that we've weaned out the overall collection here. I think this might be Commander Shepard's favorite place in the Citadel, looking at that guy. Recent users. M. Callahan, B. Everson, T. Oyama. Not great that it recognizes who you are. Access user Callahan, M. Callahan. Signed. Oh, they're still signed in. Ooh. That's not necessarily good news for you, is it? From SC Manager 541, subject the hat. You made your spacer's choice when you signed the employment contract. Damn. I keep telling you the hat doesn't fit right. There's something wrong with it. How many people have worn this thing before me? Is this my life now? Because if it is, I'll take it. I'll be your moon man, but there won't be anything left of me to care. Callahan. Callahan. It doesn't fit right. There's something wrong with it. How many people have worn this before me? You made your special. Oh my god. Poor man. Hi, Mom. Are you okay, honey? Oh, hope you're doing well, Mom. Thought I'd check in. Engineers visit the shop a bunch. I remember when I used to turn a wrench back home on Terra 2. Oh, at least he escaped Terra 2, because things aren't great there. Lilia Hagen over in Sublight told me I could always pursue a career in salvage if this thing doesn't work out. Please give Dad and the others a hug from me. Mom, it's really great that we can stay in touch like this. Little reminders of home are more important than ever. Enjoy the quality Spacer's Choice goods I sent. You can get ones just like them at home, but I figured you might appreciate me getting the company discount and all. Oh. He's just miserable and resigned to doing this job, and he's sending things back to his parents and stuff, and blah blah blah. The heat. I know it's bad. As the one whose office is closest to our radiators, you can imagine why I want to take 3 showers every day. I hear you. We've got eyes on the problem, and hands, and tools. It's a mechanical problem with a mechanical solution. In the meantime, enjoy some additional water rations and take breaks. You deserve them. If you're thirsting for cooler air, talk to your closest engineer about spots with favorable circulation. JT. So yeah, she's looking out for her people. She's trying. This is a shitty situation. Take breaks, you deserve them. Seeking contractor, sublight salvage. Seeking ethically flexible spacer with stellar bay landing clearance. Payment in exchange for return of legal salvage. Details given upon acceptance of contract. Active warrants, prior convictions, no questions asked. Our background checks filter out the criminal red flags. Plausible deniability is the sublight way. See Lilia Hagen for details. Warehouse next to the Spratwurst joint. Next floor. Oh, right. They're making sausages out of the Sprats. It's the Spratwurst joint. Oh, right. That just fully registered for me. So we still seem to be in full capitalism mode, but without the creepy, like, indoctrination elements and shame, to some extent, I suppose. This area is just kind of a station in decay, trying to figure out how to interact with what's almost like this nightmare, like, I don't even know what to call Spacer's Choice in particular, that mess, and the board in general, but we're not dealing with the creepy stuff that their leader was shoving down everyone's throats, like the stuff about how like a good work ethic is all you need, and if you fall sick, it's because you're not dedicated enough to your craft, and all these other gross things, like blaming people for being sick and like shaming them, and then throwing anyone who's not fitting the system correctly is thrown out to the dogs, literally, to die, and so on. Like, this is more, we've gotten back to just like normal capitalism of just people having to work for a living but not having like the weird cult about the whole thing. We're seeing failures all around, like lots of like this or that thing that doesn't work right, the risks involved, the homeless person that's hiding in the vents and things like that, but it's not as like actively distressing as Green Veil was, at least, but it's not amazing. Loading on board property is strictly prohibited. Do not delete. The Halcyon Holdings corporate office and its environs are for conducting official board business only. Anyone found misusing board property will be fined accordingly. Board property includes, but is not limited to, Halcyon Holdings office here on Groundbreaker, the space directly in front of my desk, the space directly behind my desk, my doorway, my berth, and most importantly, my stairs. Thank you for your cooperation. Udom Bedford, Certified Liaison. P.S. Please note that the next spacer caught drinking on the stairs outside the embassy may find themselves on the rude side of an airlock. This is the third time I've had to post this message, and I'm sick and tired of it. I will not hesitate to open a board-sanctioned investigation into your behavior, and when you are caught, punish you accordingly. Felix Millstone. That's the guy from the dock. So Udom specifically takes issue with Felix. That's funny. And Felix apparently keeps deleting his messages. Being the board liaison, I'm a little surprised he doesn't have any kind of privilege to like sticky a post that can't be deleted. Because this is just like a public place. Like a weird, like cork board, I guess. But yeah, this is we seem to have wandered into a more what you would expect from a normal space station in a sci-fi game kind of situation, as opposed to like the just actively distressing first place we landed on. And as you expect, given that the one guy who works for the company that's from the place at the beginning of the game is the most miserable person on the space station, potentially.
CNP near maple syrup. It's near this complete breakfast.
Near maple syrup. It's a maple-like substance.
Series? I know you were trying to stop.
I put a couple of bits in Vera's pool. 1,000 says Rizzo's Rangers make it to the demi-finals this year.
I hate to say it, but the Circus Time Clowns look good this year. The rookie tender is, well, she could break me over her knee, and I'd kind of like it.
The Clowns, though? They're a joke.
They're getting better. I think their shtick is actually an advantage when they play in Bird Creek Grove.
Half the games up in Bird Creek are canceled due to blizzard conditions anyway.
I got 500 bits that say all the games there get canceled this season.
You're on.
I'm really wondering about what the hell the sport is that these people play. It's really weird to call the Clowns a joke. It's like, yeah, isn't that their whole shtick? They're called the Circus Clowns. Like, oh no. Street meat. I was not expecting the Spratwurst to be a corn dog, I'm gonna be honest. The tail's still sticking out. Huh. I guess you're happy that there's garbage rats running around all the time, right? Is that working for you? People find this appealing? Just entire sprat corpses just hanging around? I thought the whole point of like fucking hot dogs and sausages was to abstract the concept of eating meat as much as possible from its origin.
If you're hungry, you've come to the right place. I've got a fresh ground batch of Spratwurst cooking. They're terra-fried to lock in the juices. How about a grinder's dozen?
Terra-fried? It just sounds too much like they're terrified. We scare the sprats to make them all have all their fear juices. What's a Spratwurst exactly?
You know what sprats are? Space rats. The laboratories of Spacer's Choice found a use for this limitless frontier resource. Sprat meat is plenty tasty when properly prepared. We grind them up in sausages, then terror-fry them in their own juices.
Every time he says that, I think they mean terrify. Space rats! What a gloriously unscientific name for these creatures. I guess that's why they're called sprats, right? The first ones I met weren't in space, though, so I didn't associate them as being space rats. But that's also a stupid thing to call them, because they're not even rats, basically. But, I don't know. Maybe it's just like a slang term and not even close to what their actual name is or something. What does terror-fry mean?
Terror-frying is a Spacer's Choice brand secret. A mix of 13 herbs and spices, plus a dash of modern chemistry.
I find this entire topic terrifying. Ha ha ha. Is Spratwurst your own invention or what?
Legally? No. The terror-frying method was developed and marketed by Spacer's Choice. Between you, me, and this grinder, I've been through lean times. If there's one thing you learn on tramp freighters, it's how to make near anything edible. Might be that this old space hand put a few words in the right ears, and could be that Spacer's Choice liked sticking it to C&P by R&Ding our own special meat.
R&Ding our own special meat. Wait, is this your fault? Because she says, legally speaking, it's not her invention, which is like a way of saying that it is her invention, but like there's something about it that like she can't say out loud or whatever. Are you the reason why down in Green Vale, Emerald Vale, they were canning sprat meat at the tuna station because salt tuna was all run out? Because it sounds like that's what they were doing. So they took your idea and ran with it, and it became the basis of one of their entire industries. And that, judging by the fact that you're stuck working here, I'm guessing none of that idea and profit made its way to you at all. That's about normal for these people, I guess. Is Spratwurst like Borstwurst? I've seen that a lot.
Absolutely not. Spratwurst and all related terms are registered trademarks of Spacer's Choice. Boar, the other meat, is a registered trademark of C&P. Everyone knows our company and theirs are nothing alike.
The other meat. There's two whole meats, huh? Great. That's enough talk for now.
Just as well. Near about time for me to go check on the trap. I mean, to unload another crate of farm fresh sprats.
Farm fresh sprats. She literally just catches them around the state. I mean, there's a lot of them, apparently. I just wasn't expecting this to have like a freaking payoff at the end about the plot of it, but yes, there are so many sprats here to cook and eat. Do you have time to chat?
Long as you don't mind me grinding Spratwurst while we talk. Little things don't make themselves chewy. At least not yet. I'm sure modern science will find a way.
For them to become chewy. Ugh.
Just as well. Near about time for me to go check on the trap. I mean, to unload another crate of farm fresh sprats.
These poor, sad people. Let's see what you got for sale.
Fresh from the grinder, anyhow.
I'm sure they are. You just dehydrated water tablets and terra-fried Spratwurst. Farm-raised sprat, deboned and finely ground, and fried in hot oil. Plus 25% to my base health. Apparently, it's effective. It's exactly as effective as the Monster Energy drinks were in Death Stranding. Terra-fried Spratwurst uses the finest herbs and spices. Try it with double mustard. They make double mustard now? I'm gonna buy one because you just feel sad. This poor lady. Good luck making this whole space life thing work. This just opens up. Hi, I'm just in here now. Is this the rights that I get by buying one? Is I just have like I just have the run of the mill now? The run of the place? Look at those lights. Spooky. All right. All right. All right. Ike's Armory. You know, I don't know if I believe that she debones them. I think she might just throw the entire sprat in. Seems really inconvenient to not just have to debone them. Also, are they really made fresh every hour? I don't think they're killed that hour at the very least. This seems to just be hanging in the air. Don't you guys have like no air conditioning around here? Isn't it like actively like... This is like cooking in the air, right? This isn't exactly a fridge. Ugh. And yeah, I know I skipped that place. I just want to I don't want to do that towards the end of the episode. Might be a while.
You look like someone who's taken their share of cuts and bruises. Need some armor? Maybe it's a bit secondhand, but that's only testament to its durability. We also have a line of specialized melee weapons. For those times you have to repel boarders but don't want to risk a bullet through the hull.
Yes, check out our armor. It's so good its previous owner died, and we're reselling it. Are you a spacer yourself?
Not me, but it's in my blood. After the crossing, my family worked Eridanos, indentured to the corporations.
They did what? After the what?
Not from around here, are ya? After leaving Earth, they worked a local gas giant from a floating refinery. Dangerous work. I was born into corporate labor, but I'm the first one of my family to buy my way out. That's why I settled on Groundbreaker. It's the last bastion of freedom.
Tell me about your wares.
Everything I sell is fresh from the forge. Technically, the metal formed billions of years ago, but it's freshly in this shape.
I was gonna say, are we really... Wait. Two issues. One, why market yourself as fresh from the forge? It's like, these aren't spoilable consumables, but didn't you just tell me about how you sell stuff secondhand? So not everything you sell is fresh from the forge, even by your definite... Okay. It's fine. It's fine. It's just I make the mistake of listening to the things people say, and then I have questions because the things they say don't match up. Oh, these are all melee weapons, yeah. It's not really my thing, but these might be neat. What's the most expensive one? Value to weight ratio. Mining helmet, grade 1, 4 armor. Basic streetwear. Value 3, oh wait, is just none of the stuff good? The sell values are very low. Ooh, that there is 24 armor, so maybe not. Let's see, weight ratio, armor rating. There you go. 17.3. This thing has 26 armor, but for some reason this one's sorted to top. Is armor rating something other than the armor stat? Because otherwise, like, or is it sorting by... No, there's a 4 here, 3. Okay, so it's sorting by type also. It just doesn't mention that. Like, this is what I want to wear if I want to get really stocked up. It's heavy armor with 26 and 17. And it's less than $1,000 to get both of them. No abilities, it looks like, though. Has slots, though. You are the ultimate warrior. You should wear the ultimate warrior armor. Elite troop armor by Armed Ballistics. Whoever said the best advanced defense was a good advanced offense was probably wearing this helmet. Ba-boom. So 17 and 26. What do I got? Less. Well, the 17 is basically the same. But yeah, that's a whole extra 10 points. Why not?
Itching to whack someone over the head? We can help with that.
Haha, violence, am I right? Good old violence. Big fan. $26. Hope it also looks good. Am I Erdnot Rex right now? What the fuck? I have seen this armor before. I'm sorry, no wait, no, Garrus. This is Garrus of Vicarian's armor, not Rex. He's the one that had the weird neck ring around his head. Hey buddy, I can give you armor now. De-doop, de-doop. Yep, he just looks like that now. Yep. Doing his thing. Yeah, it's a little disappointing that they end up like that. Might be partly just that I don't like the armor itself, and part of me kind of likes the idea of them having different identities and appearances. That does look better though. This armor definitely looks better than anything that either of us are wearing. All right, back to this place.